All right, guys, today we're gonna go over overhead pressing for strength day and speed day. On the program, I write it in as a standing overhead press. I have a unique problem here in my gym. I'm working on a shipping container. If I press up overhead standing, I'll be hitting the ceiling or the top of my rack, so it's just not feasible. If you're in a situation like me, you can do it kneeling or you can do it seated, whichever you prefer, whichever works best for you. I'm not gonna say that any is better than the other. Ultimately, I think it's good to do them all ways, all right? So, same thing goes, just like on the Anderson front squat, we're going to work up to either a 1 or a 5 rep max or anywhere in between. Basically what I would prefer, using a slightly outside the shoulders grip. So I'll put my fingers about right where these power rings are. I set the bar up on pins. That's not always necessary, but I think it works better. So I would suggest doing it that way and setting it in a position where that bar is about lined up just under your chin. It's just gonna be less room for air, and it's an easier setup, easier to get up under the bar and get going, all that good stuff, all right? So we're gonna grip it here. If you're wearing a hat, turn your hat around. Same thing goes, just like the dumbbell overhead press, we wanna finish locked out over our head with our elbows in line with our ears. All right, we want head over shoulders, over rib cage, over hips, everything stacked up, nice and clean, okay? Same thing goes if you are doing this for a 1 rep max on speed day. Use the percentage given to you, that's a percentage of your 1 rep max. For the bar weight, if you test your max with bands on the bar, just use the percentage and keep the setup the same that you did last time. Once again, if you're doing anything more than a 1 rep max, use a 1 rep max calculator to calculate what your 5 rep max would translate into around 1 rep, just so you can figure out what percentages to use. And like I said, if it seems a little heavy, lighten the load. These are about speed, okay? Same thing goes, if you don't have bands, you can add 10%, go a little heavier, and do straight weight. We can do this with chains, we can do it with weight releasers, okay? Bunch of different ways to do this. It's a great way to hit your upper body, strengthen your shoulders, improve pressing power, all that good stuff. So if you have any more questions on the standing overhead press, or in my case, kneeling overhead press, shoot me a message at Unbridled Strength over on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.